Hi, hello, and welcome to the Cozy Doll Chat Sessions with SJ and
G. Hope you're all doing good.
So this is going to be kind of like a weekly thing where every Wednesday we're going to ask you questions about certain topics and how you feel about them in the doll community. This week we asked you guys how you felt about resellers, and you guys delivered. You gave me all of your answers and opinions, and I appreciate that, and I did it all in one video, and we're going to go ahead and see what you guys feel and discuss our opinions about resellers and stuff like that. So go ahead and grab yourself a cozy blanket, get into your cozy outfit and something to drink, and let's get into the video. So kind of depends. Resellers are the reason I have some of my dolls at all, or dolls that I've customized. If I only want a nude body for a transplant, or if I want a doll that's a long discontinued, it's just easier to get one off Mercari than hunt down a store that might have one in box. But I just like that this was on sale on Amazon this week for $5. The seller stripped it and is selling each piece for $10. So I get that, especially if you do customization. Getting a new doll off of Mercari or eBay or Poshmark is a lot easier than just going out and buying a brand new doll for like $25, $30. However, there are resellers out there who buy it, strip it, and then sell each individual piece for way more than the doll is typically selling.
And I understand trying to make a couple bucks off it and all, but at the same time, they gotta understand these people are just trying to buy them and enjoy them, not overpay for them. And they can just go to a store, like you said, and purchase them or get them off at Amazon some other way. But I guess if it's easier to you to get it off of Mercari, then do it.
Yeah. So, sellers on Poshmark and Mercari, and I think eBay, they have a percentage or a fee that gets taken out if you sell, like the company like takes it. So I can understand where a seller will up the price of something to make either some of their money back or to cover the fee. But some resellers just...
But taking it piece by
piece, like, okay, the shoes, selling the shoes for $10, selling the top for $5, selling the skirt for $5. That's a little much. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't agree with that. I'm all for trying to make your money back if you buy something.
Or even a couple bucks, but a couple bucks is a couple bucks.
Taking advantage of collectors. But resellers are the reason I have some of my dolls at all is very true. Because, people who live out of the U.S., like we live in the U.S., America. So there are dolls that are only available at Walmart, and I don't know if Walmart is in other countries besides the U.S. So that's understandable with people outside of the U.S. being able to get dolls. They get them from resellers. All right, so resellers can be good or they can be bad. It all depends on their motive. If they are buying all the new stock, then upsell on eBay, then they are literally ruining the fun of collecting, plus hurting the kids who just want to go to the store and buy a doll. There are some resellers who buy to help out people who can't get in their location, or they are helping someone complete a collection. So yes, it all depends on how they go about reselling.
I definitely feel this one because I collect action figures, and this has happened to me a few times to where something that's $25 in store, and they go off and sell for triple the price, like $50 to $70, and there's no way I'm gonna pay that for that when I know it was $25. I'll just hold off and hopefully get it. If not, oh well. Or I'll find one used somewhere that ain't as damaged. But I prefer packages, so it's hard.
And ruining it for the kids, because as collectors of Rainbow High, Barbie, Monster High, we do have to step back and remember that these dolls are mainly geared towards kids. So when you do see somebody buying up a whole stock of a brand new doll and selling it for triple the price on eBay or Poshmark, Mercari, any other selling platform, it hurts. Not only my doll collector heart, but I also know it hurts LA's heart. She's 10, she collects dolls, and I know when we go to a store and
I'm going to say no.
You're going to say no. No, you're not. And when we go to a store and she is hoping to find that doll and it is sold out, and then I look on Poshmark or something like that later on in hopes of getting the doll, and I see that this doll that was selling for $25 is now being sold for $80 is just ridiculous.
No, it really is.
But as far as the resellers who are in groups like Rainbow High groups, Monster High groups, and somebody sees a doll they want and somebody in another country is like, I can get you this doll and I can ship it to you. That's where I think resellers are a great asset to the doll community. I think reselling is necessary, but companies choosing to not do anything about scalpers, like allowing people to order more than 3 of them upon release, is what really hurts the community. And you know what? That is so true. Like, I have seen this time and time again on Mattel Creations where people, you're running to get that Monster High alumni doll, and you got it in your cart, you get to checkout, and bam, it's gone. It's sold out. These dolls sell out within 3 minutes. I have never even attempted to get one because I know I will never get lucky enough to get one. But there is a huge bot problem in the doll community, not just the Monster High community. I'm sure it's like that with Barbie and Hot Wheels, and you with your DC action
DC
figures.
and McFarlane.
And what is it? NECA?
Yep.
When they drop and they sell out, and it's like they sell out within not even 5 minutes. You know there is a bot problem, and a lot of companies just choose to turn a blind eye because they are making money and they don't care who buys the doll as long as they are getting money. And it's kind of a slap in the face to us collectors who are willing to shell out the money through Mattel Creations or McFarlane and stuff like that to buy the doll, and then...
Only thing is it's guaranteed money for them. That's why they do it.
Yep.
We understand that.
Yep, and it sucks. I personally don't like resellers in general. They always try to take advantage of you or try to make it seem like their stuff is so exclusive so you pay high prices, and then some just put unreasonable listings up for no reason. I am not paying $600 for a doll. This reminds me so much of the Beanie Baby craze back in the 90s when a bunch of old men and women came together to scoop up every single Beanie Baby in the world and sell it for such high prices and act like this is so rare. This is worth that price. When in reality, our Beanie Babies weren't worth shit. So I feel like that's kind of how the doll community is. Like, you're going to get an older generation who want to take advantage of the doll community and the doll market and want to do full-on reselling for the rest of their life, and will just be like,
and make it seem like it's more,
I have the best product, this, that, and the other, and they're gonna tell you basically all you want to hear, and
you might believe them.
Yeah, and you'll end up dropping that money. But if you do your research and you
might find out different.
Yeah. Yep. What was it? We went to a flea market where we live, and someone was selling a Goliath Jellington doll, and she wasn't even complete. And I asked how much the doll was.
And she was beat up.
And she was matted hair. She was dirty. And the guy goes, hang on 1 second. Let me see how much she's being sold for on eBay. Excuse me? No, that's not... You don't go by what they're selling for. You need to look at the sold listings and go by that. But he was gonna make it almost like $300. I said, no, thank you. I found her a week later on Poshmark, complete, pristine condition for $30. Definitely shop around. I'm fine with up to about 50% over retail. Past that, call yourself a scalper, because that's what you are. Of course, an auction is an auction, but I feel it's reasonable to cut off the bidding at the desired price rather than let people run it up for sport. Resellers need to check other resellers if they are doing fraud by reporting them. So as far as over 50% retail, I agree with that. Anything more, that is just ridiculous. I don't care if you're trying to cover your selling fees or not. I'm sure 50% over retail will cover your selling fees. 2, I am not, I've never done auctions before, but I have seen where people are like, no, I need that doll. And then all of a sudden the auction is running up almost $800 and the seller is not cutting it off because it's just great fun for them. And it's sick. It's disgusting.
And who knows if that seller has somebody in on that, help bringing up the auction. That's the other problem with that, is another person there.
That could be a friend of theirs, and they're like, okay, go ahead, up it again to $50, up it again to $100. Get this person to like make it to where they're gonna pay $1,000 for this doll.
And at the end of the day, the friend's gonna pay the $800, and then the other guy's gonna give it right back to him. So it's...
Yeah. As far as resellers needing to check other resellers, I think if we as a doll community go and, you know, maybe report this person selling this doll that's $25 and they're selling it for like a freaking asinine amount of money, we do need to come together and step in and say something, because I almost feel like too that, you know, Mattel could be watching, MGA could be watching. They're like, oh, these doll collectors are willing to spend that $300 on a doll that we released that was only like $80. We need to start upping our prices. We need to start
now.
Yeah, we need to start charging more. That doll ain't gonna be, you know, $70, $80 when it's released. We're gonna now charge you $300 for a hunk of fucking plastic. All right, so she is very knowledgeable about Rainbow High. She's in one of my Rainbow High groups, and she just drops knowledge. So she says, resellers are somewhat of a necessity to doll collectors, really. If we didn't have resellers, then some people simply wouldn't be able to obtain certain dolls. However, there is a big difference between a reseller and a scalper who sells dolls for exorbitant, unaffordable prices. So, I completely agree with this, because, you know, we have Walmart exclusive dolls here in the US. Like, I believe Monster High released Toralei. She was a Walmart exclusive. Now she lives in a different country. I'm not going to say what country, but I don't know if they have Walmart there. So for her, if we didn't have resellers, she wouldn't be able to get a lot of the dolls that she has. So I feel you got your good resellers who are buying dolls to sell to people in their country or sell to people overseas to help these other collectors get dolls. But then you have the ones who go out and get the dolls to just sell them because it's
profitable.
It's profitable to them, and they're taking advantage of everybody. And
yeah, it's wrong. Like, I'd be upset because right now I'm still looking for the rest of the set for my
your DC, your Batman.
Yeah, my Batman series, a couple of them, the Black series, and then also the gargoyles.
Yeah, the gargoyles. We don't have Brooklyn or Bronx because they've been released. Oh yeah, but they're originally what, like $35 in store? Yeah, they're going for like $100 or more now. It's ridiculous. Like, those are just people taking advantage of the whole like collecting in general system, and I hate it. I do like resellers when they sell older Monster High dolls, but new dolls, I hate it so much. Like, they buy all of the dolls and do triple the price. So, as far as older Monster High dolls go, I can agree with this. However, when you have resellers who don't do any research whatsoever on the doll that they are holding, because yes, there are certain Monster High dolls that are more rare, more expensive, all of that than others. If you have an older person who gets a G2 unarticulated doll, they're like, oh, this is Monster High. $80 for this nude, dirty, ratty looking G2 unarticulated Monster High doll. That angers me to no end. Yeah. Or you have somebody who finds a Frankie doll or Claudine or this and that. She's got some of her clothing pieces, but she's missing hands. She's missing a leg.
It's crazy.
and they sell it for an asinine amount of money. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, this doll is broken. This doll is in pieces. This is a G2 doll. We don't talk about G2.
I feel like they're just hoping that somebody's going to buy it, honestly.
Yeah, they think they struck gold, but they really didn't. But then you have the good, positive, nice resellers who have done their research. They know what they have. And they sell that older Monster High doll for a reasonable price, because G1 Monster High is not released anymore unless you go on Mattel Creations and you buy the alumni dolls, but they're like $75. And wow, gorgeous. It's just like, why? We want the older ones. We want what we knew when G1 came out. But some of us like the alumni dolls.
I definitely ain't gonna overpay for no doll that's broken.
Yeah.
I won't pay for no action figure that's broken. Overpay.
And
Okay, maybe if I find one from when I was a little boy and I have not seen it since then, maybe.
Yep. And as far as new dolls being sold, that's for an asinine amount of money. All right, ridiculous. So the next one, resellers are fine as long as they keep prices reasonable. I'm a reseller sometimes when I don't like a doll in my collection anymore. I post some of my dolls on Facebook Marketplace for $10. But when resellers post their dolls for sale and the prices are well over retail price, then that's just ridiculous. So I agree with this. As long as you're a reseller and you keep your prices reasonable, I think that is great. That is totally acceptable. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. I have sold dolls that I have in my collection that I just don't vibe with anymore, that I don't like anymore. But I sell them for a reasonable price because that doll has been taken out of the package. It's now not as valuable once it's out of the package. And if I take all the accessories and I sell a new doll, I'm going to sell that new doll for way less than I paid for it because the doll is nude.
And I'm sorry, I'm a package collector, so yes, for me, you lost half of the value as soon as you opened it for me. I do not want it for the price that it was. I would not buy it. But that's just for action figures. I don't buy dolls, obviously. That's my woman's deal. But I appreciate it all.
So, but yeah, the resellers who post their dolls for sale and the prices are just like a ridiculous amount of money. It's like you just want to shake them and be like, what the hell are you doing? All right, so this one, I don't mind reselling to downsize your collection or if you're doing it every once in a while to help pay for dolls. Like if you buy two, one to keep, one to sell. But I really loathe people who do it for a living. I can't stand when resellers buy them up for the purpose only of reselling and essentially create false scarcity by selling something out through the resellers, not because it actually sold out. So that's actually interesting. I never thought about that, where you buy a doll and then you buy a second one to like sell to kind of like make money back. That's actually interesting.
It's not a bad idea.
No, but people who go and they buy a brand new action figure doll, even Squishmallows, all up because it is brand new and they know that if they buy it all up and there's none left, collectors will be willing to drop an asinine amount of money to get that item for their collection.
Or parents whose kid specifically wants that one is gonna throw a fit about it. And we all know how these kids are nowadays. They get their way. I hate to say it.
Yeah. So I hate that. That is disgusting that there are resellers out there who will do that. And it's like I said, they are taking advantage of people who want that item.
And a lot of people will pay for it. Like I said, the kids who want that item, they're gonna cry until their parent pays for it. So the parents end up paying triple for it when they could have got it in the store if they would have bought it before these people did.
Yep. Like there's women that will stand outside TJ Maxx and Marshalls to buy that Ray Dunn stuff. Like Ray Dunn, it's like glassware, drinkware. Yeah. They will stand outside of TJ Maxx and Marshalls before they open, make a mad dash to the Ray Dunn section, scoop it all up, not because they want it.
They want to resell it.
Because they want to resell it for triple the price because there are people out there who love that stuff.
And they can't get it from where
they can't get it. Yeah. So, I'm like, I've had that issue with the Real Drama dolls from Monster High. Couldn't get them through Mattel Creations. They sold out. They didn't come to stores by me. So the only way I can get a Real Drama doll is if I get it through a reseller who is selling it for a ridiculous amount of money. It's why I have yet to have a Real Drama doll. All right, this one. I'm not the biggest of the fans since the prices often are terrible. I just got $3 in the last month from a reseller because you can't get these dolls where I live, and I paid $20 to $25 more than retail. Even saw a Draculaura G3 mainline for $70 on eBay. So my pros are chances that you can get stuff that is currently unavailable in your country, but the biggest cons are the prices. So I can completely agree with this, because if you have had one negative impact with a reseller, that's going to make you just steer clear of a reseller altogether. As far as seeing a G3 Draculaura mainline who is $25 in store and you saw that for $70 on eBay is completely ridiculous. I myself have seen that on Poshmark. Somebody had a G3 Clio for sale. They were selling it for $80 and that doll is only $25.
My best advice is people just avoid buying it from them, and maybe they'll get the point that people ain't gonna buy into it.
Yeah,
And
let it
maybe
sit.
even comment on their things to where maybe if that parent was gonna make the mistake by buying it, thinking that it was where
they can read the comments.
They'll stop.
Yeah, but as far as the pros of being able to purchase stuff that isn't available in your country, that's the other side of it, because it's like the Skulltimate Secrets line. Wave 1 has still not released in the US. It released through Paul Mart store, who's like a third-party seller, and I spent $40 to get my Frankie when that doll is only supposed to be $30. So I paid almost $10 more to be able to get this doll because I want the doll. And I see them going for so much more on Mercari and Poshmark and eBay through other sellers who are in other countries, and they want a lot of money for it, which I understand because it is from a different country. You got to pay shipping and like, is it like handling, where it was like a processing fee where it has to go through customs. Yeah, so it's like I can almost understand why it would be more money, but at the same time it still sucks because you want that doll, but you just don't want to pay that much for it. Wow, you guys delivered, and you had some great points, some great opinions, and there was a lot that I didn't even really think about when it came to
the reseller thing.
Yeah, the reseller thing, and yeah.
I definitely know, like I said, I try to watch out for that kind of thing. I try not to buy things like that unless I know absolutely there's no way I'm going to get it unless I go around to all these comic book shops, for example, for me, and try to find them. And then those guys are usually just as bad as resellers, honestly. I hate to say it, but they are. For example, action figure of a Ninja Turtle action figure from the 80s that has no box, beat up, scuffed up. They want like $40-50 for it.
Yeah, and there's like no accessories with it.
Yeah, and back in the day, that was literally like a $5-10 action figure, and that was high end. You know what I mean? So but it is hurtful.
It's vintage.
It doesn't matter. It's hurtful to me. My best hope is to go to a garage sale and find that.
Yeah, someone who doesn't know what they have.
Yeah. And I feel wrong about it, but at the same time, I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to keep it for myself.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm not going to tell him how much this really is. I'm going to skip away as happily as ever because I just have something I've been wanting, my holy grail item, whatever, for a cheap-ass amount of money.
But I definitely understand with the dolls because you guys have the same sentimental value to them. If it's a childhood doll, for example, as I do as an action figure, you know what I mean? If you can't find it anywhere but there and you gotta pay that, it just hurts your emotions.
Yeah, it hurts your heart. Well, dang, I forgot what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I definitely, like I said, I see both sides to the reseller thing. There can be pros, there can be cons. I am one who, like, I wanted Boo York, Deuce, and Cleo. They're my favorite Monster High couple. I love them. I wanted Boo York, Deuce, and Cleo because in my opinion, that is a superior Deuce and Cleo. And I did so much research for weeks between Mercari, Poshmark, and eBay because I wanted to find the dolls. They didn't necessarily have to be in box. I didn't need the box. I didn't need all the little accessories, but I at least wanted them to have their clothes and their shoes and be in really good, gently used condition. And in doing my research, I did end up finding Deuce and Cleo together being sold for $30. This person knew what they had. She knew what she had. And she was selling them for that price only because the mummy wrap straps, little dangly things on Cleo's dress were cut off. My heart did not care about that because Cleo was still as beautiful as ever, and I got them for $30 when other people were selling them nude or missing hands, or the kid that used to own it drew all over it and they were selling it because it was Boo York Cleo, because it was Boo York Deuce, we're selling it for like $100 or more. But yes, I would suggest definitely do your research. Look between selling platforms like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari to compare other people's prices to determine which one is going to be the best one to buy from, and then also look at reviews.
And also, if you have a flea market around you, any type of little resale shops around you, maybe check into them. They might have one laying there that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, sometimes thrift stores.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know what they have. But let me tell you, Goodwill is just as bad. Because they're now catching on to what resellers are doing, and they're now looking on eBay and stuff like that, seeing how much something is being sold for, not what it sold as, but what somebody is listing it to hopefully get out of it, and then listing it for such a high amount of money.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The world of reselling is just completely crazy.
It's a book.
It's
once you open a page,
it's the never-ending story of resellers. Like I said, I definitely see the pros in it, where if you're in another country and somebody has a doll that you want and you have to go through a reseller to get it, I can see that aspect of it. Or if you are somebody who customizes dolls and you don't want to go out and buy a brand new Monster High or Rainbow High doll for, what it's being sold for in the store, you can look on a selling platform and you can find that doll nude for like $10 or less. So that's where I understand reselling too. Or trying to downsize your collection because you don't vibe with that doll anymore, or you want to get rid of one collection because you want to bring a new collection in. So like I said, there's many pros and cons of reselling.
I definitely agree.
Yep. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little cozy doll session chat with me and G.
So long, and I hope you all have a good day and keep smiles on your face.
And like I said, we're hoping to do this like as possibly an every Wednesday thing, or once a month, or like an every other Wednesday little session where we talk about stuff in like the doll community. But I hope to see you in the next one. Love you guys. Bye.